on it to activate to get access to the software in the first place. Yeah, it is, and it's got six other layers of security when you log into it as well. But you get your wallet without any address or created wallet on it. As soon as you have registered your wallet and gone into it, you are the first person to create your wallet, so you are the first person to see your seed phrase as well.
So that's
very good.
It's like your own bank. And we've talked about how eventually we're and who knows, maybe pretty soon here, how you can put a lot of assets into that so they can be protected and can't be, stolen or whatever. So very, very powerful.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay, let's just get through to some more questions. Boom, 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 boom. This is a pure sales pitch, guys, question mark. If you want to look at it that way, you're welcome to it. I would look at it as the benediction from the heavens, actually, and incredibly insane amounts of hard work by incredibly noble people who have spent years actually working around the satanic system in order to help people like you and your family and your grandchildren get into a better world and get onto better tracks of autonomous sovereign banking. So, of course, we're pushing something right now, because if people continue to plug their heads in their asses on the matter of transactions and banking, you're all going to go down. We're all going to get pulled down to the vortex and then rearranged and spat out into the new digi system with government controlling the biometrics and not you controlling the biometrics. So this is just a smart move. Like I said, this is arguably the last window we all get to actually pivot and consciously step off that kingdom of the devil's playground, because it is becoming so locked in. Okay, when Skynet goes fully live and the smart cities go all live and all of those digital contracts and every human being is registered to the smart city construct, there's going to be nowhere to run or hide. Nowhere, because everyone will be sucked into that transhumanist agenda. So again, this is arguably the line in the sand where we can step out and step into autonomous sovereign new earth banking. And we have treaties that we're undertaking with sovereign kingdoms around the world. I can speak to that in a little while. But so you can look at it as a pure sales pitch. We are trying to promote something here as a salvation and a redemption and an exercise for humanity, and it's working. That's all I can tell you. We've pushed the boat out very gently a couple of weeks back, and it's working beautifully. And then someone's asking about, is this foolproof to scammers and hackers? And the short answer is, so far, yes. Weeks ago, the guys set up a hackathon, and anyone out there is invited to jump into the hackathon. There is the first New Earth wallet was put up on that hackathon with money in it. So if you can hack your way into it, you can have the money. So Joe, I don't know how you want to play that, but where can hackers go and try and jump in?
Well, it is currently on Atomic's X profile, but what we can do is we can actually spread it out to more social networks. I mean, I'm not afraid at all. We can put it everywhere.
And let me just say that if you can hack into our system, you've got a job with us day one. All right.
Definitely.
But no one can hack it so far. I'm just having a look at more questions here. Is there a minimum amount to open accounts, Joe?
Well, the wallet is a crypto wallet in a sense. So when you buy it, your fiat account or fiat Visa virtual card comes with $10 on it. So it's already opened. You just need to activate it in your profile. That's all.
Very good.
And load it up to your Apple Pay or Google Pay on your phone. Simple.
Okay. Tara's asking, do you want me to put this on the website right away with that QR code? Michael, that's your Tara asking the question.
What was that?
Tara Jones is asking, do you want me to put this on the website right away with that QR code?
Absolutely. That's what we'll do. And we'll also put it in the description box. And you guys are going to take this, because we had little problems with video. You guys are going to take this show and clean it up and make it a lot more presentable, and it'll have a description of how you can go in and get it. That'll run on the bottom of the screen, and we'll have a description as well. And then in the future, short-term future, I'll be sending out in my email list We'll have it on the website. Thank you, Tara Jones, who's fantastic with that. Yeah, we're going to spread it out as fast as possible, because it is an incredible opportunity, guys. Unbelievable. I'm so excited about this. One of the most exciting things, like Sasha said, you've been working on for years, and this could be the last window that we have before they come in and basically enslave us into their system.
Indeed. So someone else is asking, moving from an interest-bearing debt currency to a wealth-based currency, from economic servitude to liberation. It's a good way of putting it. It's moving from complete surveillance and a subjugation into full spectrum autonomy and sovereignty. That's entirely correct. That's exactly what it is. It's historic. It's utterly pioneering. It is a grotesque threat to the status quo. But then Donald J. Trump is a grotesque threat to the status quo. Vladimir Putin's a threat to the status quo. All threats to the status quo are very necessary and needful right now, because this is the moment in time where we're taking down the old Khazarian mafiosi systems. Someone else is saying, boom, 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 hope it's not a Ponzi scheme. Well, Peggy, I think what you mean is Ponzi. I don't know what a Ponzi scheme is, but hope away. Of course, it's not a Ponzi scheme. I think Michael's a little smarter than that. I think I'm a little smarter than that. But we're all of us wary of these kinds of schemes. That is why we wouldn't entertain a multi-level marketing scenario here. No interest in that. The reason why we're allowing a two-tier affiliate system is for you. It doesn't help us. It's us giving dividends to you. So our two-tier system invites anyone on the street to be able to participate. That's the extension of kindness and grace from us as the bank, so to speak. So that's why I say, please try and see this in a different way. The two-tier affiliate system is how you create a commonwealth in your own domestic life, in your own individual life, in your own business. Because if you're a business and you've got, a couple of hundred people working in the factory, this is an ideal space for you to create a little social economy, inward-looking one, where it creates abundance and profit comes into the commonwealth of your company or your movement or your whatever it is. I don't know if you can see any other. You might want to look as well and help me out.
Dragon Rider says, can you speak more to the future of this enterprise? Where do you see it in 5 to 10 years in terms of growth and potential?
I mean, I can answer that, and then I'd like to hear what Joe has to say. But as far as I'm concerned, we are developing the entire New Earth X banking system and financial services ecosystem is all being built and developed right now in order to service every single element and aspect of the planetary economy. So it's only going to be for conscious people who understand sovereignty. They'll move into this track system. Other people who are fraidy cats and who think that the government is there to serve them and think that doctors offering up pointy needles are a healthy option. Those kind of people are not going to be coming into this emergent new economy. That's for sure. So, this in a sense is a bifurcation for those people, the meek who inherit the earth. How the hell do the meek inherit the earth if they can't actually sustain their own commonwealth and their own capacity to move freely unmolested and to transact freely without being fleeced by a blood economy-based inflationary system, which claims that it owns you from birth and claims that it owns all of your benefits and that you just get given whatever the state decrees. That's the old order of things. And that's what's dying. Delighted that we're all part of this emergent new paradigm. But this, for me, is so exciting as well, Michael, because it really is a practical, manifest way of people showing consciousness, showing sovereignty. Where are we going in 5 years from now? Into a zero-point economy altogether, where there will be zero inflation. Where the micronations that we are already negotiating now in different parts of the world and beginning to institute Those micronations fall within the umbrella of the New Earth Coalition, which is an ecclesiastically protected universal trust. Actually, it's about 3 or 4 dozen irrevocable universal trusts nested into an umbrella universal trust, which is a diocese. It's an ecclesiastic, it's a church, a planetary church in that sense. And we carry that those ecclesiastical privileges and protections in exactly the same way that the Vatican City does, or the Catholic Church does, in exactly the same way that the Crown of England and the City of London have granted themselves special dispensation, special protections through their ecclesiastical corporation SOL, the same as Basel, Switzerland, and the same as Washington, District of Columbia. These are independently, privately owned corporate, fiefdoms, principalities. So we've simply emulated at the jurisdictional and lawful and legal level. We have simply replicated that. So we cannot be attacked by those engines because they would be attacking the premise of their own enterprise. And that's taken us years to establish this. But the actual banking mechanisms and the lending mechanisms and the trading and commodities platforms, all of which are underway right now, well underway within the New Earth Exchange. And all these are going online between now and the end of this year. So let me give you an example, because that was a great question you asked, where we're going in 5 years. I'm going to try and break it down simply. As of today, we have over $300 billion worth of government-sanctioned projects, which are in line vying to be listed on the New Earth Exchange. So that's a long process. It's a big process. We're building the team up right now, but those are bona fides. So the exchange itself, we are being approached by big corporations and institutions, as well as small ones, and governments saying, well, we can't get loans from the IMF or the World Bank or in the normal through the normal channels any longer. We need to build a new bridge. We need to build a new highway. We need to build a new hospital. We need to build a new college, agricultural college, or whatever it is. Or we need to bring in industrial hemp, or we need to clean up the coral with bioremediation. Whatever those projects are, as long as they've got a study, a business plan, and a feasibility study to them, they can then be listed on the New Earth Exchange and tokenized. So that's what we do. We then tokenize that project for the government to raise money to build the bridge. So members of the local community get first dibs at owning the tokens or owning the currency of value behind that bridge or that road or that school or that hospital. That's how we decentralize government. So the New Earth Exchange is the platform upon which people of the world, communities of the world, towns, small groupings of humans outside of the city grid are able to begin to reclaim the actual infrastructure of their lives. This is historic. And that's why we've got so much interest from these developing nations saying, hey, we'd rather tokenize and list our projects on your exchange than try and go and get loans from the bank. So that's something which is very exciting and moving forward. On the commodities side of it, we've got our own scouts and agents on the ground, principally in Africa, because that's the cornerstone of the world economy when it relates to, diamonds and gold and all of that stuff, the commodities. What we are promoting and proselytizing like evangelists is for ethical mining, to not bring up the gold, not bring up the emeralds and the diamonds where we don't need to. We simply need to know where they are, do the spectral analysis, lock and load the value of those mineral assets, and then tokenize them using the locked assets as the collateral. That's lawful, legal business. So we're emulating what's out there. We're doing it in a new way. How? With the relationships that we've got with sovereign kingdoms and sovereign chiefs, kings, and queens in the indigenous world. These are the new leaders that are now standing up and reclaiming Africa for Africans, Asia for Asians, Central America for Central Americans. That's the big stand-up that's happening. And Trump and Xi Jinping are paving the way for it, people. What's happening right now in China, in Beijing, with Trump's visit, and this incredible accord being struck between them, they've agreed to cooperation. We can do better to fuck the cabal, excuse my language, Michael. We can do better to screw the cabal by working together and the deep state, because Xi Jinping is not the deep state. Trump is not the deep state, but they do know they've got to take on the deep state. So for instance, the whole accord that is taking place at that meta level is reflecting what we're talking about. We are dealing with kingdoms. As of this week, I can categorically tell you we're dealing with 287 kingdoms, sovereign kingdoms. Each of them have got huge constituencies, demographics, some of them over 20 million subjects or people. I'm not going to name them here. We will publish that index of kingdoms later this year, almost certainly. What we've begun is addressing these congresses of kings and kingdoms and their delegates. We've had multiple meetings. We met last week and last 2 weeks about 24 to 28 of the actual supreme kings of these arenas. And we are having the conversation about how they can bring their land forward, and we can help to monetize, help to tokenize, assetize. They're land rich, cash poor, right? Like most Mexicans, like most people in the developing world. They were given land, but no means to do anything with it. That was a nice move by the globalist agenda. So now these land-rich people, realizing that through spectral analysis, we can see underground kilometers. In fact, our New Earth commodities team, our technology access is 12 kilometers underground. I believe that's ahead of the US military, incidentally, Michael. We can see 12 kilometers underground with our partners in Germany. So the fact is, we can see where the gold is and the diamonds, the emeralds, and go, okay, and get those certified. And then once we've certified those deposits, we can use them as a collateral, launch a prosperity coin for that kingdom. Do you understand? Backed by their own locked assets in the soil. That's the breakthrough. Now, those coins are being exchanged now on the New Earth Exchange. We've created a whole new means by which these sovereign kingdoms and sovereign communities can begin to exchange freely outside of the Saturnian banking system, which simply cannibalizes and fleeces everyone alive. So in 5 years' time, to answer the question, can you imagine how many billions, possibly trillions of dollars worth of real world assets through real world relationships that we are actually building forward? And people who know my work know I've spent 20 years working on hereditary redemption. People who know my work know that New Earth unified all the ancient sultanates and kingdoms of Southeast Asia in 2019 in the most historic event at New Earth Haven in Bali, where 26 of the kings of kings came with their thrones, and we convened that historic event and brought in, hereditary leaders from all around the world to celebrate that. So we're in the middle of that game.